Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 4 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into all the stuff we are packing up super late Sunday night. So yeah, we have a lot to go through. I'm a little bit sleepy, but yeah, let's talk about this one. Good amount of stuff. We got the pop-up game right here, a Mickey Mouse one. I normally don't get these like bigger box ones with like IPs, but I figured these were like good enough looking components. I think it was missing one thing only, and these boxes are kind of hard to store and ship. But this ended up going for $12.73 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping, so I'll save us the time. All right, next up, something I don't know anything about, but we got a bunch of these for free. They're records. Today's Love Hits, all originals together right here. So I have no idea about this one, other than it's probably romantic type of record right here. And that is laughing at me. This ended up going for $6.99. These were actually going to be thrown out if we ended up not taking them to sell on eBay. So I'm glad I took them in, listed all a couple hundred of them, and we get a little bit of money from them. Some of them were like 30 or 40 bucks. I think they were more unique ones that were like in Polish only. All right, moving along, we have a lot of 6 of these like military novel books. I find a lot of them. I'm not too sure what the exact premise is. I don't know if this is fiction or nonfiction. I get a bunch of these SAX SAX books right here. They're going to be like military little novel books about soldiers. I guess I don't know if they're actual based off of soldiers or stories, but I get a ton of these. I got in a bunch. They don't sell for too much. They have a little bit of wear here on the bottom. But yeah, these end up going for $11.91. All right, moving along, I have a repeat buyer again for these World War II micro armor bits and pieces. I got a bunch, like this big box of a bunch of little turrets, as well as like the holes, the bases, and then I have people come in and pick up and match them up themselves. I was not good enough to know which turrets went to which hole bases. I had like 400 on this. Like I had one of those Dollar Tree whiteboards, the poster ones or the craft ones where you fold out, and I just organized them all in that over a couple of days. I should have done a video on it when I did that back in the day. But yeah, they ended up spending, sorry, they paid at 3 different times. So it's about like $27 and some change. I had to do some napkin math right there. So that's pretty good. And that person's a repeat buyer. They keep coming back and getting more and more and more. All right, next up is going to be this. This is going to be Pixie Cubes. This is just going to be like one of those like family games. Nothing too crazy. This one has like little cards and then some like little dice here. So it's going to be like one that's based off of shapes. Yeah, nothing too crazy. This one I'm going for $6.50. A lot of people still play family games. Not every game has to be like one of those complicated board games like some of the ones that I like. And I also like a different array of games. I like some that are like really not complex all the way to super complex. All right. Next up is going to be a magic trick deck. So not Magic the Gathering, but this is just literally a marked deck right here. I think you need something to see through. But yeah, people like to do magician tricks. I remember when I was a kid, I tried to learn a bunch. I actually know one card trick that I can do with any playing card deck. I can also do it with any trading card game. It's a fun one. But yeah, I can't really show it. It's like one you show in person. I show on camera, people think I'm like cheating with editing or something. But yeah, $7.67 for this. Maybe I'll teach people how to do it. I can teach people, but I like it. It's a good little trick of mine. All right, next up is going to be this. I normally don't get sealed Warhammer. Sorry, it's already in a bag. You had to label this one B, and I don't want to write it in the box. This is going to be an orc for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It's going to be the Fist of Gork right there. Sounds like orc. But yeah, I got a bunch of this stuff from my friend who normally sells me anime stuff. Obviously, Warhammer stuff's pretty good. I've only played fantasy one time, so yeah, I don't know too much about it. $88.19 for that. I mean, I know a lot of people like it. And it's going to be like a tabletop game with dice and measuring and making squads and stuff. And I sell a bunch of this stuff. All right, moving along, we have another vinyl record. This is McQueen Country? McQueen. Q-K-U. My brain is mush right now. It's like midnight. It's been a long day. But yeah, so there's some marking down here, and then the buyer wanted to know if this was part of the, on the actual cover, the slip cover for the vinyl, or if it was on the wrapper, and this little like dirty mark here was on like the wrapper or whatever. When I move it, I can see the dirt. So basically they didn't want the dirt on the inside. So yeah, this one I'm going for $9. So that's pretty cool that we got to save those 2 from trash. All right, next up is going to be a Pokemon Elite Trainer box, just empty box right here. This is the Pokemon Go set. This is going to be the Mewtwo. People use this to store their decks, their cards. It's a good shelf piece. Also, I've seen parents use this as wrapping for like birthday parties and graduation gifts and stuff before. I know parents have used this instead of like a gift bag. You get them a Pokemon box and you put your own stuff in it, and then the kids have a storage for all their cards when they open it up, so they're not all over the ground. A lot of reasons why people pick these up. $4.96 for that. Some of these can go for a lot more if they're like older sets or more collectible. mostly by like age, or maybe they were harder to get. Next up is going to be Roots right here. I haven't played this solo automaton expansion before. It allows you to play this Root of Woodland Might and Magic, which is normally a territory control game where you get these cute little meeples and you get to be like a little faction, an animal faction. They have tons of expansions. The base game has like the cats, they have the birds, and then they also have like woodland little critters, so like the mice and hamsters, like the rodents. And then they have a vagabond, which is a raccoon, which can go through the forest and collect gear like in D&D characters. So these are just going to be 12 little hexes for the solo game. This is not the full expansion, just a little token board here. I don't know how it works because I've never played the solo version. End up going for $11.19. But I know a lot of people like the series. It's by Leader Games. It's a pretty popular one. All right. Next up is going to be a Transformer. I got a bunch of this stuff from my brother. I think these were the ones I got from him. I know sometimes I got some Transformer stuff not from him. He had a huge toy collection that he already sold off most of the stuff. He had a couple other extra bags of bits and pieces and smaller ones that he didn't want to deal with, and he gave them to me. So I know he watches sometimes, so I appreciate it. Thank you for that. There's going to be 2 today, I think, that sold. This one is Mega Octane Transformers RID. I think that's it. I was never into Transformers as a kid. I was just young enough where I passed by that, and I got into like the X-Men show, a little bit of Ninja Turtles, and then Pokemon. Pokemon was the big one for me. So yeah, ended up going for $6.77 for this particular one. All right, moving along, we have another like family game. So I've been pretty good with all like the little stuff over the weekend. Picturica right here, just another little drawing game with cards. Another family game. I remember I used to play a lot of card games with my family. We would play stuff like Phase 10, Uno, Hearts, Old Maid, just like all the stuff we used to play. So I know people still play around the table, which is wholesome. $7.70 for this. And a lot of people collect all sorts of games. I think those type of like party games or card games are more likely to be played by a group of a variety of players, where people bring like their significant others, and not everyone's like into like the hardcore like games, like, you know, just something like more in depth, or something like one of these like Distant Skies or the Journeys in the Middle Earth. Sometimes people just want to play, like, you know, they want to hang out, they want to play some stuff, but nothing too crazy. All right, moving along, I had a couple of these, so I had one more to relist. It's gonna be Victory Insider. These would come inside magazines. This is just the Gulf Strike little, I think it's like a little rule book or an expansion or an update to one of the military games. That's about as much as I know. And then I had another one, so I already relisted it when I was at the storage unit. But yeah, this ended up going international for $8.40 for this one. All right, next up is going to be, this was Anetta's like old thing here. This is going to be, yeah, you got those Pusheen, those like the mystery boxes. Remember the Pusheen ones? Yeah. And then we found a bunch of her mystery boxes, I think when she was in college or something. And then she kept all the stuff that she wanted when we were at her parents' house, and then I just listed the rest. So this is going to be a little photo holder, but people like the Pusheen thing. I think it's like a fun fact that this is actually made, this company makes stuff. They're actually based in Illinois, and they're not based in Japan. I think that's like just an interesting random fact for this stuff. But yeah, little photo holder from 2019 box for $5.19. All right. I would say free 99 for me, but Anetta probably paid money for the box back in the day. All right. Next up is going to be Choose Your Own Adventure. This is going to be number 72, the Brilliant Dr. Wogan right here. Just has a little like rip right here. But yeah, we got a bunch of these Choose Your Own Adventure books. We still have like a couple hundred to go through. We were going to like read and keep a bunch, and we still have to like whittle down what we want to keep, what we want to sell. Got a lot of unique stuff. This a lot of people know this series, but there's like other ones that were made in the UK. There's other like IPs I didn't know of, like the Scooby-Doo one, and there's just like a bunch of stuff. So I learned a bunch from getting that big lots of Choose Your Own Adventure books. But yeah, this ended up going for $7.34. All right. Next up is going to be a prayer card, I believe. I don't know if I picked these up or if Anetta picked them up. But yeah, I got a bunch of these. I remember the thrift store we got this at. This is a long time ago. We got a little packet of these prayer cards, or I think it has like a little prayer in the back. I don't know if you hand these out at church or something like that. But yeah, got a bunch of these. These are from 1998. Has like a nice little art of an angel in the front, and then it has like one of the little sayings from the Bible right there. So this ended up going for $5, and I got to relist another one. I think I paid $1 for the whole packet. I think I've sold at least a couple so far, so have a bunch of these. All right, religious stuff. We used to sell a bunch of religious stuff, so we did pretty well with it at auctions. We just haven't found it in a while, and it's not like my most knowledgeable top category. Netta knows a bit more. She knows like what people are looking for. So she always she always does well with those, finding that stuff at estate sales. All right, next up, I remember this like when I was a kid. I don't know where I put it. Oh no, I can't find it. I'm sorry, I was all over the place. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is like I just happened to, when I found this, I got this like box of random like toys and other stuff, and in here was this green mammoth. And I remember I used to collect these like particular like neon color little dinosaurs, and yeah, they were dinosaur ones. They had like a T-Rex and they had a Stegosaurus. So I just happened to remember these toys. So I happen to know that this was like a early 2000s little green mammoth. It's just one of them. Someone else also got hit with the nostalgia because they paid $5 plus the shipping for this one. So yeah, that's something that normally I would be like, I'll put that in a lot with something else. But I was like, no, I think someone's gonna like that one because I did. All right, next up, super cool card game. This one's Code. I've never played it, but I like to get stuff like this, which is like unique and different. This is a card game that teaches you how to code. So I think that's pretty cool. There's like 4 different decks here. This reminds me when I used to have this buddy that would like to make a bunch of board games, and I would also be a bad instigator with that. We would just like, we'd be like eating somewhere, like, oh, let's make a game about whatever food we're eating, or we'd be playing a video game, we'd be like, oh, we got to make a card game or a board game for it. And then that always rolled her eyes for that. But yeah, this is like kind of like one of those things where someone's like, hey, you can play a game and learn how to code. So I like that kind of stuff. Like there's all sorts of board games and card games. $14.17 for this. All right, moving along, we have some Warhammer acrylic tokens. I don't think they were like specifically branded. There's 77 of them, just different things. Oh, I see some Underworld ones. Yeah, I remember that. Now I know that. Those are Underworlds. Are they all Underworlds? No, they're just all sorts of types. So maybe those are actually pretty good ones. Maybe someone got a good deal. But yeah, I see some like other like damage ones. And then there's like a little hacks. I think that's also for Underworlds. I think a lot of these are Underworlds looking at it now, but like someone else must have made them. You know, sometimes there's like other companies like Gale Force 9. I can't think of the other ones right now. But yeah, Litco. Litco is another one. This is ended up going for $13.99. All right. Next up is going to be 2. I got like all of these playmats at one point. So when I saw them again, I knew that they would sell. So it's a board game called Machina Arcana. Never played it. Don't know anything about it. So I think it was a bigger like Kickstarter one. But I remember I got this big play mat, and then it comes with 4 player mats on the side, and these things are kind of huge. So this is 2 of the player mats. So it's still missing the big one and still missing the other 2. But someone wanted to still pick up 2 play mats. So maybe they didn't have enough, or they want to play more players, or they spilled theirs, ripped theirs. But yeah, these were easy to roll up. Normally, like play mats are kind of like long, so they cost a lot to ship because you have to put them in like the long tubes, and you get extra charge for it being super long. And then it's just like a pain to deal with. But yeah, these I'm going for $14.69 for this one. I wish I knew more about that board game. All I've sold is the play mats for it. Next up is going to be, I got this one recently at an auction. I'm not quite at the profit level for the particular lot. I got a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle HeroClix. I remember that they did them in Gravity Feeds, and then they also had like a starter set, and I think they did like a Fast Forces. And then they would also have some of the HeroClix sets have rarities within the Gravity Feed. Sometimes they don't. This one they did. So this is, I believe, is a super rare figure. Leonardo right here, but it's like a space one. So he's in a spacesuit. They kind of did like a space theme for these. So this one, I spent, I think, $50 for the whole bin of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle HeroClix. And this one just went for $29.39. So we're getting there. There's still fees, and you know, we still have to pay for the box and packing materials. Everything adds up. But yeah, I was happy that sold like after the first day of listing. I still have a lot of stuff from the auction to list, and I got more stuff from an auction again, but it's going to take some time to record and post it up. But I'm already behind today. I'm already like brain fried today. All right, next up is going to be this German edition card game, Veratzer or something. I'm probably saying it wrong. Sorry, I'm looking all over the place. I like to get the foreign card games and board games. I know people keep an eye out for them. Sometimes they're not even games that we can get here, and vice versa. Sometimes I get games in USA, and then they ship overseas. So a lot of people pick up different types of games. So yeah, it has some like interesting art. Some like it's well drawn. There's like a grass field and like someone like running. I'm sure the Verata means something. Then there's a bunch of landscapes here. So some kind of cool card game. I think this is from, it says 1999. So yeah, I like to get in the vintage ones too whenever I can, because I know people like all sorts of ages of games. $13.12 for this one. All right. Next up, we have lots of 94 WoW TCG Ice Crown, Hunter, Mage, and, well, cool, I don't have this one. I didn't have tape at the time, so it's not baggied. What was the last one? Hunter, Mage, and Shaman. There you go. So there are going to be a bunch of rares. uncommons, commons, all sorts. So this game is kind of like Hearthstone, if you ever played that, where you have to pick a character, a race, and a class. So like Alliance or Horde, and then like you have to pick a class like Shaman or Mage. So I put the 3 classes together. I didn't have enough to do individual classes for lots. If I have a bunch, like let's say I had a couple thousand of these cards and I can make like 50 of a Shaman, 50 of a Druid, then I would do that. But when this small collection, I got this collection I think at the last time I went to an auction. But yeah, this ended up going for $10 to repeat buyer, just some bulk stuff. I took a little bit lower offer on that one, but that's okay. I was just trying to move that along. Next up is going to be a Nintendo Power insert poster right here. This is just going to be one of those posters where it has like one video game on one side, and then it's a Metal Storm, I think. I don't remember playing this game on the back side, or maybe the Metal Storm is the front facing one, and then this Star Tropics is going to be like the little strategy guide in the back. People like these inserts and magazine stuff. I like to get it all the time. But yeah, end up going for $5.15. All the other Nintendo Powers, like the actual like full ones, we end up keeping. We did like a trade like half a year or a year ago. We still have them all. Those we won't sell. That was just like a little insert that we had from somewhere else. I don't even remember where we got that one, honestly, at this point. Next up is going to be, they did like a combo order, but they paid at 2 separate times. So they got Zombicide stuff. Zombicide stuff is kind of hard for me to go through because it's by Cool Miniatures or not. And then it has a bunch of SKU lines for like a lot of stuff. And it only played it, like I demoed it essentially a long time ago in 2014. So a long time ago. Where are the cards? Oh yeah, so we got some, I think these are Ghostbuster expansions. So we have like 2 character cards, or the smaller character cards, because I also know the characters get like a bigger card, so I'm not sure what the difference between the bigger card and the smaller card is. So we got the 2 small cards and a bunch of like weapon upgrades, and then there's, I think they're called like monster cards. I sell the monster cards a lot, like the monster spawn cards, which tell people, I think, like what spawns, and depending on like some kind of noise level, like how many. Like I said, it's been a long time since I played it. So yeah, and then more of the Ghostbusters ones. So they took my 2 small lots I had listed at different times. These are apparently probably better ones because these together, so 35 each, so $70 for these 2. Yeah, some of the expansions can be really expensive especially if you get also all the cards. If you get it complete. All right, next up is gonna be another Transformer. So I think I also got this from my brother. This is going to be, oh yeah, it's like this one in the back. I didn't even know how to put it together. I'm so bad at putting together Transformers. This one is Takara Rail something. Railstar Boo Citron. There you go. That's what I looked up at the time. That's what it is. So yeah, I couldn't even figure out how to like make it go flat or something. But I think it's missing maybe like a weapon or 2. Someone was asking me about it. They were sending messages like, oh, is it missing accessories? I was like, I took pictures from all angles. I was like, this wasn't mine, so I'm not too sure. There is no extra swords or anything that I can see, but yeah, a lot of these Transformers my brother gave me were incomplete, but like people are still gonna, get these to complete another one, or maybe they still like the character and they don't care about missing a sword or whatever they were talking about. $34.99. This one's also going international, so that's cool. Been getting some good international sales. All right, next up is going to be 10 Mech Warrior. Forgot I had these. These are going to be like cards, or they're like equipment upgrades, which I forgot that Mech Warrior did because Mage Knight 2.0 did. This is a WizKids game. You pick like a faction, then you have points, and you'll have a mech, you'll have some tanks, and you'll have some infantry, and you battle with like a couple dice, like 2 dice and a measuring tape. But they'll have these little upgrades that you can give your characters. And this actually, I'm not going to show you guys now, but you can pop it out, and then there's going to be a little thing that shows you like on the back, like what it's going to do. And then you have the card that also explains like the actual ability. So the little thing will say like, this one says, see the text right here. And it tells you these are additional heat sinking missiles right here. So you can spend points on your army. Instead of getting more figures, you can upgrade your figures. So got 10 of these different cards. These had like different rarities. Some were promo, some were not. I don't know about these particular ones. But yeah, these end up going for $12 for 10 of these. There's 10 of them. All right. Next up is going to be, I always thought that was cool with the Mage Knight and with the Mech Warriors, where you get to pop out little item cards. The Mage Knight were cool because you get like a staff and a little crystal ball and stuff, and then like a sword, and you can like put them on your characters. Sorry, that was a side tangent. We got 231 Massive Darkness Season 1 cards, small cards right here. This one's also an interesting one. Massive Darkness is also by Cool Miniatures or Not. I saw a lot of CMON stuff today, which is Cool Miniatures or Not company. They do a lot of miniature board games, and they usually have like a base game and a ton of expansion, so they could keep getting money by selling stuff that people like. This is their fantasy version of a dungeon crawl game. It's kind of similar to Descent Journeys in the Dark Second Edition. I played that game, so I never really got into this one. This one's always like recommended, like, oh, if you like all these games, you'll like this one. It's just like the art just doesn't quite get to me. When I was listing these, I was telling Netta how I feel like it looks cartoonish, which is fine, like it fits the theme, but then it's trying to take itself too serious. So I feel like it's like conflicting style. But I know a lot of people like this game, and this is just a bunch of cards from like the season 1 base game. So this one I'm going for $13.12. There's like swords, equipments, there's some monster cards, treasure cards, so just a bunch of small stuff. It's not the whole set. All right, next up is going to be this. This one is going to be Family Guy Sexy Party Game, or Stewie Sexy Party Game. You know what it is? It's Quagmire Card Pack, 80 card game booster. It's just a Family Guy game right here. I told you people like all sorts of games, like the party games. They'll play whatever, anything to ease into the game night. They're not going to start with Gloomhaven or like Mage Knight or something. They're going to start with something simple like this. But yeah, I still like picking up all the small card games. $9.80 for this one. All right, next up is going to be a book. I don't know if this is a Choose Your Own Adventure or just a fantasy book. It was like it was labeled Destiny for sure. Here it is, Destiny, the Legion of Shadow right here. Destiny Quest. Is this actually? I can't tell. This might be a Choose Your Own Adventure. I think this might be. So this one says that this one's from the UK right here. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. I probably should have read this one. Too late now. It's someone else's. $15.40. I can read it real quick. No, I'm not going to mess with their item. All right. Next up is going to be a Ted E. I think that's his name, like an actual Ted E. And then he's a teddy bear right here. It's his little face. This thing actually looks familiar. Maybe not. There's this like a little cartoon thing that I watched when I was like 6, 7, or 8 or something, that like teddy bear would teach you stuff. Okay, I'm definitely on a super tangent now, but yeah, he has a little hat right here. He has his little bow. I'm gonna look it up after I'm done filming to see if I actually recognize this one. It says The Bear Who Slept Through Christmas. There you go. But and Teddy, $7.69. Not a big fan of the plushies, but we still have a bunch that we've listed long time ago, and I still have a couple bags to go through. But those are lower on the docket of priority of stuff to do. All right. Next up, we have a Star Wars action figure, and I would grab these in like big bulk auction lots, and I can't find it right now, so we did not get it apparently. Where is it? It's gone. 3. Oh, here we go. It's going to count down for myself. We have Garinda Dan, long shot right here. Some side character for Star Wars. These were pretty cheap in auctions for Netta. Like a couple years ago, she would get like big lots of like just more of the lower end action figures, and usually there'd be like one action figure in the lot to be like, okay, well that one's worth $15-20, and the rest were just kind of thrown in to try to beef up the price. But she was getting pretty good luck getting these like relatively cheap, like the big lots. She was getting a bunch of die cast cars, a bunch of like action figures like this for like cheap. $7.56 for this one. All right. Next up is going to be a combo order. They were like 2 separate things, so it's always interesting when I get a combo order with 2 different types of items. One of them is really tiny, so I don't even know where I put it again. I'm completely disorganized today. Where did you go? I'll just explain. Oh, it's right here. Well, it's because it's in like a small little baggie here, and like the light's like flickering off of it. Okay, so they got this MK or Ma-K figurine. It's just like a female like soldier, like resin figure with like a card. I don't know if it goes to any particular game, just like a random figure I had. And then they got a Warhammer 40K. It's some kind of artillery piece right here. It's going to be an Imperial Guard Last Cannon metal miniature. So these two together, 2 completely different things, end up going for $42.17. So that's pretty cool. I always think it's interesting. There was one time someone got like 7 things and they're like completely different like categories. And I was trying to like figure out like why someone would want those particular 7 things. I mean, I know people have different hobbies and stuff, but that's like at least rare for eBay for me to do a combo order with different stuff. Next up is going to be Super Dungeon Explorer. Another CMON game, I think. Hey, I'm pretty sure it is Super Dungeon Explorer. Maybe no. They're Roxley games. There you go. Sorry. This is Baniki right here. This is going to be just a card. It's missing the miniature. I got a lot of these cards for Super Dungeon Explorer. It's going to be a fantasy game, dungeon crawl. We're playing co-op. There's going to be a bunch of monsters. They all have like the chibi styles, like the big head, and then like the small bodies, and then like the crazy swords and staffs and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is a hero card. So maybe someone has a miniature that they're going to just use to replace this. And then they got the card, though, for $17.49. Some of this Super Dungeon Explorer stuff could be expensive. Like I said, I just got a bunch of cards with no miniatures at all. So I just listed all of them. I saw a good amount of them. So it took a bit to organize for those two. That one was hard to dig into. All right. Next up is going to be Origins board game. Origins, is it first? Origins first? I think it's some kind of sci-fi game. I remember this was being like advertised maybe a couple years ago. I think you're like exploring space stuff, and maybe it's an adventure game. It's all I know. This is gonna be 8 cards, like promo cards I got, as well as this token, which goes along with one of the cards here. So people like to pick up promos for their board games, little expansions that modularly you can. That's the thing. You can add them into your game as a module piece. $8 for that. Oh, I have one item left, so I'm saved by my own stuff that sold. Last up for the day right here, Journey into Nyx. Really cool. This is when I think they still had fat packs. This is going to be the just the box right here. This is like the Elite Trainer, where it just has like, it would normally have packs and cards and a land pack and stuff, a D20 die as well, spin down, but this is just the box. This is kind of older set. This is going to be from 2014, 2015. So yeah, it's been about a little bit more than 10 years. This one ended up going for $7.56. If someone saved all their little empty boxes, they can get $7 each for them. I like listening to this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that comes with collections, people throw away. They do have value. You can actually practically use these as containers. It doesn't have to be for cards. It doesn't have to be for gift wrapping. It could be for anything. So yeah, I like reselling them. They have really nice art usually too. If you like the characters for Pokemon, you like the magic card or the realm, the plane that the set's in, and it looks pretty and you pick it up. All right. That's everything. My brain is mush. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone had a great weekend.